We visited California Power Mater Dei quite a bit over the years, as the Monarchs have produced a number of NFL players, including one of the league's top receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mater Dei has a wideout this season who certainly looks like he could reach that level someday. And that's this week's 5-Star Feature. Sometimes it's easy to look at a player and know he's an elite prospect. Chris Henry Jr. is one example. The 6'6", 205-pound wide receiver is an intimidating presence on the gridiron, and he's already flashing NFL ability.
The kid is 6'6", might be a little taller, and then obviously can run, and obviously he can move. He's got great agility. And so when you have that combination, oh yeah, it's scary, there's no doubt.
Chris literally looks like an NFL player because he's a spitting image of his late father, Chris Henry Sr. The elder Henry played 5 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals, but he tragically died in 2009 when Chris Jr. was just 2 years old. The younger Henry doesn't have too many memories of his dad, but he's seen the highlights and heard stories as he's grown up.
Yeah, I definitely watched all his highlights and just like the stories that my family members, used to tell me all about him and just how he was as a person and just how he was on the field.
Chris has moved around a bit in his young life. That includes some time he spent in Cincinnati, living with his father's college teammate and another former NFL player, Adam Pac-Man Jones, who promised to look after Chris Henry's children after his death.
I was raised by my mom my whole life, and then in my 8th grade year, I moved to Cincinnati and with my uncle, Adam Pac-Man Jones. He had a big impact on my life. Me and him are really close. He's like another father figure to me, and obviously I'm still in touch with him. He's busy, I'm busy. It's hard to always stay in contact, but we definitely do talk a lot. So my mom's been, very important in my journey. She's always been there for me. She's been to all my games. I don't think she ever missed a game. She was always the one dropping me off to practice, me and my siblings. And, as a single mother, it was hard for her, but, she always pulled through and made everything happen for me and my siblings.
Now living in Southern California, Chris attends prestigious Mater Dei High School. The football program is regularly in the mix for not only state championships, but national titles as well. The Monarchs went 13-0 in 2024 and were named national champions by Max Preps.
It's definitely different for sure. We just, everything we do it at a very high standard. For me personally, I feel like I gotta work every day to be here.
Me being the head coach is, it's an honor and a blessing for me. Everybody kind of knows me when I used to coach at Long Beach Poly. And I coached at Long Beach Poly in '92 all the way to 2013. I became the head coach in 2001. So many of my championships games were against Mater Dei. And now, me being the head coach here is like, wow, the path that the Almighty upstairs brought me to this point is pretty remarkable for me. So I'm honored and blessed to be here.
Raul Laura is in his 2nd season leading Mater Dei. He sees traits in Chris that he remembers seeing in some of his best players at Long Beach Poly.
I think the last guy that I had like that was a kid named Mercedes Lewis. And believe it or not, his last year that I coached him was 2001, and he's still in the NFL playing. So it's pretty remarkable, and I think Chris has that ability and durability like him. The last guy that I had at Long Beach Poly that went to the NFL is Juju Smith. And Juju Smith, another kid that character-wise awesome. And that's who he kind of reminds me a little bit, is that character, good kid, and then obviously with all this athletic ability and his physique is pretty awesome.
Chris has plenty of talent around him in Mater Dei, of course. That includes Caden Dixon Wyatt, who, like Chris, is also one of the highest-rated receivers in the 2026 class.
I think we're the best in the nation. It's as simple as that. Me and Caden, we're really tight. That's my guy. I say I'm closest to him on the team. And just, he's a great receiver, great work ethic. We like to pick each other's brain on certain stuff.
I feel like we're really close. We just got close this past year. We got really close throughout this process.
Chris and Caden will be lining up on the same football field next year as well, as they're both committed to Ohio State. For Chris, it was all about Ohio State's recent history of producing NFL talent at his position.
Why not the Buckeyes? It's like a receiver factory. We produce guys just every year in the first round, and just, relationship I have with the coaching staff up there. And, they've been recruiting me since 8th grade, so it's like, relationship part is there and the development part, and they have everything that I want.
In Columbus, he'll be reunited with his sister Saini, who plays for the Buckeyes women's basketball team. The family connections may not stop there either. Chris has a younger brother, DeMarcus, who's a rising basketball prospect in the 2027 class with an offer from Ohio State.
I'm trying to get him up there, but he's still going through it. But me and my sister, we're really close. We talk every day.
His family will always be something Chris leans on as he pursues his ultimate goal, playing in the National Football League like his father.
Make it to the NFL. That's been the goal since I was like 4 years old. And that's all I'm focused on, just making it to the league. Just wanted to be like my dad, just hearing all the stories and just being able to, take care of my family, to be in position to do that and play the game that I love.
I think wherever he goes, he's going to be successful. As long as he stays healthy and does the right things like he's doing right now, he'll have an awesome career.